Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews, my latest film that I just got seeing for the Virginia Film Festival. This is my second film that I'm currently seeing, and you're probably getting this a couple of days later because I happen to like spreading out my film festival reviews for you guys here, and this happens to be The Harder They Fall. This is storied, co-written, and directed by James Samuels, and now for those people who have found themselves thinking in the last 10 to 15 years, I don't really like where the Western genre has been going, because lately it's either been showing you what the West actually was, which is a dirty, sexist, rotten place, or it's the end of the West as we know it, whether it be the Indian Wars or the civilization coming to the West. And what happens to those people who had lived on the bounds of civilization now confronted with the fact that civilization has come to the West? Well, this film opens up with a bang and doesn't let up. Now, apparently, as we come to learn throughout this film, that this film is actually based on actual people that once inhabited the actual West, and the film that we are currently watching is actually fiction. There was indeed a Nat Love played by Jonathan Majors. There was indeed a Stagecoach Mary played by Zazie Beetz, although if you actually saw what the actual Stagecoach Mary actually looked like, you would not think, oh, this doesn't look like Zazie Beetz, but hey look, no one can look like Zazie Beetz because Zazie Beetz is a national treasure. Obviously, Lakeith Stanfield plays actual person named Cherokee Bill, and let me tell you, Cherokee Bill was actually a mean, rotten person in real life, even though he was more mulatto than Lakeith Stanfield. There was actually a sheriff played here by Delroy Lindo that did actually exist, and he actually captured over 3,000 subjects in Indian Territory, which is actually quite amazing. And there was actually indeed a Rufus Buck gang led obviously in this film by, Idris Elba, and if Idris Elba is going to be the front runner for Bond, please let that actually be the case, because hey look, we all would love to see Idris Elba, who has been toiling away in the British film market and obviously some really lesser films for years, and we all would like to see him get a proper payout. Of course, though, sadly, the one character here played by Regina King is not actually based on a real person. Also, as with Zazie Beetz, Regina King is a national treasure. I loved her with, the work she did for Beale Street Could Talk. So with all films, this is a revenge tale, and it's a fun revenge tale in the vein of Quentin Tarantino, which I never thought I'd say because, first of all, I'm not a fan of Django Unchained. I thought that was a mean-spirited film, but here, this is what I think Django should have been, a very fun film. Jonathan Majors as Nat Love is seeking the revenge of his parents, who many years the gang of Rufus Buck lets Rufus Buck out of prison. And then obviously Nat Love and his gang here, they rob actual robbers, which is sort of like, hey look, Dexter Morgan is killing the other serial killers in town. Does that make Nat Love gang any better than the Rufus Buck gang? No, of course not. I happen to see this film, apparently, and this might be the way other people might want to see it, with subtitles. I think the subtitles are indeed their own thing here, and I think everyone should be encouraged to do that, because I think the song choices alone and the songs in general are amazing. Or if the music choices do not get nominated for Best Original Song or whatnot, I think that's a crime in and of itself. The hats here are amazing. The visual gags here are quite amazing. At least at one point they say, oh yeah, we're going to have to go rob a bank in an all-white town. The town indeed is inhabited by white people, but the town is painted all white. Visual gag right there for you folks. Obviously there's one very gender fluid character, and I don't know if those type of gender fluid characters existed, but apparently there were women who dressed up as men to escape harassment and whatnot in the Old West, because the Old West was not kind to women, particularly black women. In the last act there is a very big bloody shootout, and obviously one character is like, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing with his hands and the gun, and obviously we come to realize, yeah, he's going to probably get killed off, because let's face it, when you're doing a high noon type of stunt, you're going to get killed. They can't probably help but think about what happened to Alec Baldwin on the set of his film Rust, which sadly I didn't think of, but apparently my mother, who was with me, thought of that when she was watching the film in the last act, and a lot of people were laughing at this film, me included. And also, here's another thing I think we all happen to point out, is that there are not a whole lot of black cowboy films. I know there are probably some on TV that were made way back when, but obviously I think there was one film called Buffalo Soldiers that I think didn't get a lot of attention what people apparently like very much. And I guess this film is going to be playing on Netflix in a couple of weeks. Is also currently playing in certain theaters. I think this was playing in my theater before it was being shown at the Virginia Film Festival. And again, the lines are being blurred here, folks. Sometimes you're going to have to realize film and streaming services are bound to collide, and hopefully they will all reconcile with each other. So anyway, folks, what I'm going to say about The Horror They Fall, amazingly enough, I am going to give this a leave work early, because this is just one of the more amazing films I've seen in recent years. I just want to see a very fun Western here, folks. So folks, The Horror They Fall, have you seen this? What you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich yourself with knowledge. I am Michael Richards2 on Twitter. I'm going to see the next film, and trust me, folks, those films will probably be awesome as well.